What's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I couldn't hear you before. I was totally muted.
Go ahead.
All right, so I don't believe that Hitler was a psyop. It took multiple elections to get him into power, and he didn't officially take the reins of until 34 and 33. He
Okay,
was assigned as chancellor.
who funded him?
Okay, so as far as the funding goes, the National Socialists charged membership fees to
No,
generate
who
funds that
funded
way.
Hitler according to Quigley?
According, you're going to say some Anglo-English bankers. Anthony Sutton says they were Hitler's secret bankers or whatever, based on Sidney Warburg's book.
No,
I
I'm
don't believe
talking
any of
about
that stuff.
Quigley, who's going from the CFR archives.
Like a bunch of it's a secret, so no one knows. And it's what, for the amount of $2 billion you're claiming?
No, not what do you mean? Not nobody knows. That's a separate thing where they gave
Well,
him.
they aren't
That's
saying
a
specifically
stop
who. Like, we know
interrupting
for
me. That's a separate issue about the Czech gold that they let him have. That's $2 billion of Czech gold. That's not talking about the funding in 1933.
okay. I don't believe he was funded by any of them. I believe they
Okay.
generated their
And
money
what is your?
through.
How do you know that? Because why should I not listen to somebody who's writing from the CFR Chatham House Roundtable Archives?
Sure. Okay. So in 1933, one of the first things the National Socialists did
Are
was
you
they
not going to
arrested
address
the
what I asked you?
Rothschilds. I just answered. You said how they got funded. I'm explaining it. You didn't even let me get through my
I said,
sentence.
how am I supposed to believe what you're saying versus Quigley when he's writing from the CFR archives?
Well, again, you can fabricate any
Oh,
archives
so
you
it's
like, and they can
fabricated.
release
Okay.
any archives you
Do
like.
you
Yeah,
have
it's
art?
possible it is.
Can you have evidence that Quigley fabricated it or that his book is not trustworthy? Have you read it?
No, I've only scanned through it. I haven't read through it. I was
Okay.
looking at it earlier,
So
so
what's
it's not a book I've
oh,
read.
so you just came to it a few minutes ago. So tell me about the roundtable groups. Do you know about that?
What's that again?
And
The
who are
the
the
main
roundtable groups?
synopsis of that book
Who
is
are
that
the
Hitler
roundtable
was
groups?
funded. It was a bunch of apparently it was based on a bunch of banksters that funded Hitler, and
That's who the
from the English
roundtable
central
group is?
bank. Well, that's what the synopsis of the book is.
So you haven't
That
read the
Hitler had
book.
some
You read
secret
it, what,
bankers. No,
A
I never
chat
said I read the book.
GPT synopsis.
Yeah, I
Okay.
just did a
Right.
synopsis of it,
Okay.
but I have
And so
other
who's the
evidence.
roundtable
I've
groups? What's Chatham House? Can you tell me
Okay,
about that?
why do we have to? Why can't we go
Because
through
this
my
is
evidence? Why is it
fundamental.
only your
This is
evidence that
fundamental
counts?
to this debate, and I want to know if you know who these
Well,
people
it's
are.
fun. Well, then you're framing the debate the way you want, and not based on other evidence that indicates Hitler arrested the Rothschild, held the Rothschilds for ransom of
Did I
$700,000,
say
and seized their
anything about the
assets.
Rothschilds? I didn't say anything about them. I said
So, if it was the English central bank that funded him, how would they keep funding him if he arrested their main banker, who had at least a 20% or
because
more
he's not the
holding in the
only
English central
one. He's
bank?
not the quote main banker. There's multiple bankers in the UK, and that's not what the roundtable group is. It's not a bunch of bankers. Tell me what the
Do you?
roundtable group is and what Chatham House is, and
Wait a minute,
is
but I'm
there
very
was there a
familiar
seven
with the
point?
structure of the English central bank.
Was there
So I can tell you that if
actually
he
Quigley
wished to
covers this?
arrest the
Yes, he does.
Rothschild banker, which
He
he did
does
through,
cover
are
the.
you aware that
Are you aware of what Chatham House is, or else we won't
are
continue?
you aware that
Okay,
Hitler
so you're not
arrested
going to
three
answer.
separate
Goodbye.
Rothschilds
We're
in
done.
1933, 1938, and in France? Are you
What
aware of
does
that?
that have to do with Quigley's claim that he's engaging in a dual policy? Was there a dual policy?
Again, the
Was there?
Rothschilds had an
Was there a dual
ownership stake
policy?
in the Federal Reserve and the English central
What
bank,
does that
and
have
there's
to
no
do with
way,
the
there
dual
is no way that
policy?
any English banksters would fund them and override the
Was there
Rothschild
a
family,
dual
because they were the most
policy?
powerful banking family in the world.
Was there a dual
That's a
policy?
fact. You can
So you're
cite
not going
quickly
to.
all
All
you
right, we're
like.
done.
Oh, okay, so you're not
There's,
interested.
there was a dual policy. It's described as well as the Czech gold that was given to Hitler by the British. And if you're not going to answer these questions and you haven't read the text, no, I'm not going to engage with you. And you notice these people lie about what they've read, and they just say, well, there was a Rothschild banker one time that Hitler arrested. So what? That doesn't even prove that he wasn't funded by the same circles, or that there wasn't a roundtable plan to have a dual appeasement strategy to get Hitler into war first, to go into Czechoslovakia to take the gold. The 7 point appeasement strategy is mentioned on page 619. Here's the strategy. I'm going to read it to you. First of all, Hitler would be the frontline bulwark against communism in Europe. Number two, a 4-point power pact between Britain, France, Italy, and Germany to exclude Russian influence in Europe. According to this, Britain had no desire to weaken the Roman Berlin Axis, but regarded it as an Anglo-French entente, as the foundation of a stable Europe. 3. Britain did not object to any German acquisition of Austria, Czechoslovakia, and Danzig. Oh, please, Hitler, go into Czechoslovakia and take the gold, by the way. Point number 4. Germany must not use force in Europe. This would precipitate a war. That, by the way, gets changed. This was the beginning of Britain's secret deal and trap with Germany, you see. So this is before. Britain wanted an agreement with Germany restricting numbers and the use of bombing planes because, of course, Britain doesn't want themselves to get bombed. Doesn't mean they don't want a war. Germany would then have to sign some sort of international agreement as point number 6. Point number 7, Britain would use pressure on Czechoslovakia and Poland to concede to Germany. So Britain is telling Germany, this is the secret deal that the Round Table has, the Cliveden set has with Hitler, saying, go to Poland and Czechoslovakia. We want you to take the gold and the land. It's fine. We will not oppose you. You just got to have some limitations on what you do. Then Quigley says there was then an armament and buildup that followed this agreement. This was done by the Round Table Group led by Lord Lothian, Edward Grieg, and Leopold Amery, who were on a campaign to establish compulsory military service at this time. So the actual villains here are the Round Table Group, who planned World War II, known as the Cliveden Set. And Ribbentrop was consistently meeting with the Cliveden Set secretly from 1936 all the way to 1938 as part of this secret deal. The secret deal then led to the actual war, which is precisely what they wanted. The next chapter gets into Czechoslovakia. The UK Cliveden Set uses Hitler, page 628. Now notice, the people that are coming to argue, they haven't read the texts. They don't know what the Round Table Group even is. They don't know anything about the actual structure of the Rhodes Rothschild Milner Society and how it's set up and how they work. They just want to yap at me and ask me questions in response to questions.